What's up, everybody? My name is Brascus, and welcome back to Pathologic Classic HD. We're right where I said we were. We're about to talk to Vlad the Younger and find out what the hell's up. Guess what, dude?
The military arrives tomorrow.
Well, I've found the worm poison makers, but they told me that you, Master Vlad, have also dabbled in the Panacea black market. Yes, when I learned that Brascus had concocted a Panacea, I decided to completely seize the flow of goods. That's how the informers came to know. I requested it on purpose. Make no mistake, this isn't about greed. I simply thought that it would be prudent to control this market. One would emerge anyway. Oh, so your concern for the bound was only a disguise? You were only ever concerned with turning a profit. It seems my old reputation will take a while to get rid of. Your knowledge is outdated, Bachelor. Things have changed. I have changed. This morning, I wanted to seize the Panacea black market, so I bought up everything that Brascus has made and distributed. And I gave away all that I had bought. No money. Well, a little money, so that it wouldn't look like I'm offering a donation. I gave it all to the bound, the ones who needed it the most, in my opinion. Those who nearly died because of me. Who? I promised to keep their names secret. I'm wary of Clara, you see. She's very good at getting what she needs from people. Both words and things. Well, one of them is Mark Immortel. He's not hiding it, but his situation is different. He's running a plague house, after all. But you've spared at least one for yourself, I hope, haven't you? I need neither money nor protection from death now. The latter because I want to give the plague the opportunity to punish me for my acts. And the former, please spare me your mockery, is because I now aspire to something. Call me sentimental. I won't reveal it. I don't want to scare the dream away. You've given me serious food for thought. Thank you. Okay, that was actually surprising. What the fuck? I'm so confused. Okay, now I don't know what this is. I keep finding that I get new pictures. If I click on this, it gives me this. If I click on this, it gives me the map. If I zoom all the way out on the map, this is apparently what comes up now, and I don't know what this is either. It's gross, regardless. And now we are going to... Yes, people do change a lot. Before I was convinced that this man was beyond salvation. I thought that nothing less than death could make the leopard change its spots. But I see a new man before me now. His former self has died, but not before he gave the entirety of his Panacea stock to Mark Immortel. Alright, let's save. I can go ahead and overwrite that one. That's fine. And we are going to go visit Mark. Find out what's up with the Panacea. Letters? Nope. Quests, still just the one. Sweet. This has been an extremely productive morning for me. Usually I feel like I wander around for about 2.5 hours before I really get anywhere. I still don't have any main quest for the day. I don't really know if I'm going to get one. I mean, I'm sure I will. You have to get one every day. That's like the most critical thing that you do succeed. But if I can clear one of the subquests out of the way ahead of time, then great. Okay, Mark's not too far away. He should just be up the road, then on the left. Inside of the theater where he always is. Right? Yeah, this way and then over that direction. And it shouldn't be covered in burned out area anymore either, so no more firebombers. Oh wait, no, this one is burned out. It was infected yesterday, so it should be firebombable now. And thugs, like that guy. I already checked all these. Okay, come on, throw the knife. Thank you, and then I'm gonna just skirt around you and go right into the theater. Bye now. You have a good time. Upstairs and in the door. Okay, Mark. Heard you got some stuff, bro.
Even the wisest of men may be so indifferent in ordinary matters, but they are seldom so in their most serious affairs.
See who my audience is now. They rarely applaud, they never call encore, but they also never boo us. And as you can see, we have a full house every night. I guess that's a cheery way of looking at it. Tell me, has Olgimsky the Younger really sold you several vials of Panacea? He didn't even sell them. He gave them to me basically for free. Or maybe for a token payment. You know, I never expected something like this from him. I would suspect an intricate and crafty scheme on his part, but I think I have also changed. So I believe him. Incredible. I'm starting to suspect that he's in league with you. Did Vlad really let someone else have his Panacea? I don't believe him. Yes, he's given his Panacea to the girls that have once almost died through his fault. At least he thinks so now. Actually, it's very typical of a person of his temper. In a situation like this, he's giving his possessions away with a firm and steady hand, paying the old debts. Who are these girls? Oh, fine. He gave it to the girls, to Yulia, Laura, and the third one that begs to keep her name secret under any circumstances. Think of them as the three parquet. Oh, yes, she's an incredibly mysterious person. Rest assured that her incognito will not be uncovered. He's talking about Anna Angel. I remember those three. Is it going to actually name them? See, what's going on? Are they playing tricks on me again? It shouldn't be hard to tell. Mark gave the Panacea to those whose lives are in most immediate peril. Namely to Lara, Yulia, and some individual who expressed a desire to remain incognito. Honestly, she didn't have to take the trouble, this individual. Yeah, I know exactly who it is. And now I'm out of things to do until I get a letter or something. I mean, I could go maybe visit with them. Laura's just up the road. Why don't we go... Yeah. Why don't we go pay Laura a visit and see if there's anything that we can do with the Panacea, or... I don't know. I haven't really got anything else going on at the moment. It'll give me a chance to find and loot through some more dumpsters. Oh, there's two of them over here right now. That's kind of my goal for the morning right now. I might sleep for about an hour when I get to Laura's house as well, just to keep my exhaustion level as far down as possible. As these days go on and the infection gets more and more difficult for me to manage, I'm going to have to rest and heal more and more frequently, so it might be a good idea to just handle it earlier in the day when I don't need to worry about time as much. At least that's kind of my thinking. I'd rather keep myself fresh early in the day and then, you know, be able to run around when I don't... I don't want to rest when it's time dependent that I complete something else. You got anything I want? You got shotgun shells. No thanks. I did also look it up, and when you do that family reunion quest, you're offered 3 possible rewards. The extra gun that you could take as a reward is the shotgun. But frankly, I didn't feel like I needed it. I like the rifle better anyway. Kill the rat. There we go. Now, Laura's place should be just up the way over here. Oh my god, I'm going this way for a minute. There's a lot of badness happening that other direction. Who are you throwing that at? As long as he's throwing it at the guards, I don't care. Oh god, is he coming after me? Yes, of course he's coming after me. Oh good, he's stuck. Sweet. Okay, I can live with that. God, there's another one over there, though. Okay, we're gonna go around the long way to get to Laura's place. Well, not so much long as just the back way. Please tell me that's a guard. Yeah, it is. Okay. I didn't want to come up there to the corner of that house and discover I was staring a firebomber in the face. Alright, let's go talk to Laura. I doubt that she'll have anything new, but I'm curious all the same.
There are dark rings under your eyes.
Oh, there we go. Tomorrow this place will be crawling with soldiers. Oh, what will become of us? And every new rumor I hear contradicts the previous one. Laura, is it true that Vlad the Younger has sold you a Panacea? No, it's not. Oh, why do you even have to ask? Are y'all trying to torture me on purpose? Laura, I know everything. Just tell me how it went. How much did he make you shell out? Nothing. It wasn't an item to sell. It was a gift. Have you seen the man recently? He's positively transformed. Something happened to him. I'm good at spotting these things, but has it occurred to you that I may have parted with my Panacea already? Yulia, for example, gave hers to Clara. At least that's what Clara says. So why do you think I haven't done the same? People say the thief has her way of making others part with their belongings. You know what? Please come back tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll talk about it once more. Tomorrow, everything will change. It's about many various intertwining plots and agendas. As for now, I don't have a Panacea. Sorry. Fine, I'll come back tomorrow. By the way, do you by any chance know the unit number of the troops that have been sent here? I'm surprised you're even asking. My father was an officer. I'm sorry. No, I do not know the troop numbers. Okay, so look at this real quick. Hunger, infection. Okay, so we're going to sleep for like 2 hours just to bring my exhaustion level down. Ugh. And I think I have a letter now.
It's not so dangerous to do wrong to most men.
Be quiet. I don't want to listen to you. Okay, so strange guests are walking all around your house. I'm uneasy around them. Please come back soon. A Jan. And it rots from within. I have examined the data that the Watchers have collected and compared it to your own conclusions and suggestions. Once again, I was pleasantly surprised by your insight. Did you ever consider becoming an Inquisitor yourself? We have to conclude the conversation we held yesterday and to decide who our real enemy is, and what the target of our next strike should be. The goals are consistent, I think. It rots from within. Waiting for you at the cathedral. Aglea Lilich. No quest yet. We are, at this point, just heading back to the cathedral. I can do that. I'm going to try and save those bandages for now, but I should probably eat. Yeah. I'm going to eat real quick. I'll eat one of the meats. I'll leave the other meat, the vegetables and the bread for later. Alright. We'll head back to the cathedral, post-haste. Okay, we're just about at the cathedral now, guys. I took a few very brief little side treks to go and loot some dumpsters and whatnot, get a little more stuff. We got stabbed once, so our health's down a little bit, but, I mean, that's part of why I was taking those side trips, so I could get more water bottles to get more bandages. Regardless, here we are, and here is Aglela.
We weren't given too much time, now were we?
The first part of the game is over, Bachelor Dankovsky. Its meaning has been as follows. The powers that be gave you a task with a catch, to learn the truth. They set a definitive condition. The truth has to be nice. Your honor and the fate of your laboratory were at stake. Would you care to learn something? Go ahead. Thanatica has already been destroyed. There's nothing left. The place itself is in ruins. Your research is in ashes. Your papers have been burnt. Wretched Tellman made sure of it personally. And now I'm going to tell you about the law. Why not? Go ahead. In accordance with the law, the very logic of our world inevitably dictates the destruction of anything unnatural, anything that tries to break its own non-capitalized laws. The disease is nothing more than a tool. It is an instrument of inevitability. I agree, the idea isn't new. It occurred to me before. Inevitability, gruesome inevitability, is our true enemy. An enemy that cannot be defeated by anyone, anywhere. The only thing you can do is get what's dear to you out of its way. Don't make enemies with inevitability. This preaching would have made more sense before the plague. Say what you will, but fighting this enemy is my duty as it is yours. Darting away from harm's way. So it's pointless to look for the source, isn't it? The source? I'll tell you where to look for the source. So you think you're well aware of what the law is, aren't you? I think I am. Well, I think you aren't. Let me tell you about the law. It's not a state law, but rather a natural one. When a mysterious evil emerges from non-existence, it's a clear sign that this law has been violated. Disease is a retribution for trespassers. It's an attempt to restore the balance. I can see where you're going with this. This town is a minuscule cosmos, and it's the cosmos for its inhabitants. It's too remote, too distant from the rest of the world to serve as an effective part of any other mechanism, so it's a mechanism in and of itself. A mechanism that's been disrupted. There must have been a flaw, a blemish, a redundant detail, perhaps. I want to find it. Well, you're a profound thinker, no denying that. We'll see as to how effective this philosophy turns out to be in practice. What, that's it? Oh, okay, so we're going to keep talking to her. Time is short. So there's a faulty detail in this mechanism of ours. We only need to find it. Where do we start? What would you suggest? I'd start with the wells, or rather with a very particular well that's been bothering me for a while now. The abattoir, I still haven't got a chance to get in there, and I suspect this is where it all began. Or the polyhedron. It's the most recent construction project this town has had. Ooh, okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to back up for a minute and see if I'm understanding this correctly. What seems to be evolving is that while the powers that be have sent me here to deal with some thing, and they sent the Inquisitor to deal with it if it was a different problem, and they sent this army guy who's going to show up tomorrow in case it was a military problem, and they sent me in case it was the problem that it actually was. So they sent 3 people to deal with this problem, not really knowing what the problem would be. But it doesn't really seem like it directly affects the powers that be, except that it doesn't fit within their understanding of reality. So they believe the world is supposed to be this very particular way, and as long as the world fits within these laws that they've constructed, everything is fine. But this place doesn't fit within those laws, and so there's a problem. And that's the plague at this point that doesn't really fit with them either, which is why they sent me here to take it out. But on the other hand, this whole town sort of operates outside the natural laws of the rest of the world because it's so remote and in such a bizarre little microcosm of its own that it's completely independent of the rest of the universe, and the laws that would govern everywhere else don't necessarily apply here. So what she seems to be saying is, in this little tiny microcosm we've got in this town, something is wrong, and the plague is a symptom of that problem. It upset the natural balance and messed with the natural order, and now, in order to try and rebalance, it's sort of using this plague as like a reset button to wipe out everything and start over fresh. And so we're trying to find out where the problem is so that we can maybe correct it and hopefully halt the disease that way, instead of searching for a solution to a problem that has no solution. So we have to decide where we want to start with. Now, I think if we start with the well, or a very particular well that's been bothering me for a while now, this is probably the well in Vlad the Younger's house that's doing all the murmuring and whispering and crap, which I hadn't really noticed until today. Like, I think I'd vaguely heard some things, but it's sounding a lot clearer now. Or we can search the abattoir. Still haven't got a chance to get in there, and I suspect this is where it all began. Or the polyhedron, most recent construction project the town has had. And we're looking for a faulty detail in this mechanism of ours. We only need to find it. Where do we start? Well, I don't know. I guess we kind of have to decide where we want to start. I don't much want to go into the abattoir, and the abattoir's been there for a long time, and it's part of the termitary. So, man, I don't know. I'm going to say the well for now, just because it seems like it's the easiest, quickest thing for me to investigate. And if it winds up being the wrong one, then I can come back and try one of the other 2. So we're going to say the well. According to your notes, the disease might have sprung from below the ground. Am I correct? Indeed. Just like the previous plague epidemic, that epidemiological hazard appeared in the south during coal mining, and the climate was comparable to the local one too, by the way. Have you already checked water, specifically river water? No reason to. It's clean. Suspicious spring around here. People have been using it for a long time. I've investigated the water hypothesis already, yes. Those frightened Luddites have even destroyed the town water intake, which led to a malfunction of the town water supply system. We found ourselves in a world of trouble because of that. How about we check this hypothesis thoroughly, though? Before we get on with inspecting buildings, we need to make sure that the disease was not waterborne. Wells, springs, the river, or maybe a young new stream, anything. Alright, there is one suspicious well I'd like to check. Care to tell me more about the suspicious well? Young Vladislav Olgimsky has a rather peculiar hobby. I've been told that he's looking for old cultural layers, the remnants of an ancient culture or something. I've also been told that he's looking for oil. Neither explanation sounds convincing. What kind of person is he? A trustworthy kind, I think. At least from what we've learned from today. Is this the reason why you two have managed to get on until now without breaching the subject of the well? Yes. Investigate this further. Ask him. If he refuses to talk, well, there are a number of ways to inspire social interaction. And no, I'm obviously not implying torture. It just may so happen that he suddenly gets in the mood to explain everything to you. He may need a fair hearing to justify his actions. Do you understand? Sounds very doable. I'll talk to him. Okay, so now we have an actual quest. Subterranean Rot. Aglaya has briefly studied the evidence and concluded that the bacteria are of mineral origin. Now that I think of it, it does seem plausible. Vlad the Younger has agreed to help us follow up on this hypothesis. It's about time I found out what he's using his well for. And with that, we are going to make a new save. Man, my health is in a bad way. Alright, I didn't want to use these, but I'm going to use at least one bandage to kind of bring myself back up a bit. Alright. So at this point, we need to leave the infected zone. We'll stop off and grab a couple more dumpsters worth of stuff as we find them. Got 7, 8 more bottles now, which is awesome. So we'll fill those when we get a chance. It'd be even better if I could find another couple of them, but we'll make do with what we got for now. Let's see. So, I mean, I guess we're on our way to talk to Vlad. How are we looking everything else-wise? Hunger's building up a little, exhaustion's a little bit, infection's a little bit, health's lower than I'd like. Immunity's back up to its standard. I really, 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 really wish I could do something about my health, but I don't really think there's anything I can do, and I've already grabbed those. So let's fill up these water bottles. I mean, I have another bandage. I could use it. You know, I might as well. There's no reason to hold on to it. I'm better off having higher health. If I get into trouble, I'd rather have the health to lose. But I'm going to continue my policy right now of avoiding needless conflict. If I don't have to fight something, I'm not going to. So, if I get chased by a thug, I'll just try to outrun him or outmaneuver him. If the thug is fighting someone else, then I don't mind running in and helping, because they'll be distracted and I have no risk of getting stabbed. Plus, if you kill them, then it's extra money and razors and whatnot you can trade to the guards, but I'm not going to engage them on my own anymore. Got anything I want? You do have more revolver ammo, so I will trade you for that. I'm also going to keep my eyes out for one of the citizens with sort of the cotton skull cap. That's not the right word. Maybe it is? Whatever. Looking for Cotton Hat. What did you do? Ugh. I need them to fix my revolver. Now, what did you do?
Have you heard? The military arrives tomorrow.
Why did you fill your well up with earth? Can I please just refuse to answer that question? If I'm not mistaken, since yesterday, you're no longer the authorized envoy of the powers that be in the town. You can, but that would be the end of our cordial relations. Your refusing would suggest a simple conclusion. You dug up some nasty thing that bred bacteria, and you're now burying the traces of your crime. I value our relations and their cordiality, Dr. Dankovsky. You're not as far off the mark as I would have preferred. But I didn't bury anything. I filled the well up because it's no longer required, and that is as much as I'm going to tell you. If you value our relations, tell me what you were looking for underground. Tough luck, Doctor. I don't trust you. My confession wouldn't be of any use to you, but it could raise too much noise. You'll draw all the wrong conclusions. The consequences could be tragic, especially if the Inquisitor and the Commander get involved. They will, that much I can guarantee you. Aspity? Here lives an old enemy of the Olgimski. Since they've decided to stand against me, perhaps Aspity can be my ally for the time being. Okay, I can go be friends with Aspity. Your work seems to be done? Not quite. One work is done, but another is only beginning. Not this again. Why do you insist on being so vague? Now is not the time for insinuations. We're going to have a common enemy tomorrow. What do you want from me? Cooperation. I have an ally already, and it's Artemi Burak. He acts in our family's best interests. As for you, you are now the Inquisitor's most trusted man. Are you implying that she doesn't trust Burak? She doesn't. Burak has unknowingly crossed her. In fact, if matters continue to develop as they are now, Burak's actions are going to spell Aglaya's death sentence. Unless you interfere, of course. I will, rest assured. Is there another one now? No. Okay, oh, that was this one. Okay, so enough. It's time to bring the Olgimsky family out into the open. I could easily find common ground with Aspity, however disagreeable she may be. She is rather loquacious, and she let slip that the protector of the kin has an axe to grind with the Olgimskys. Aspity is not so good a liar that I couldn't see right through her. Okay, so I'm out of time for this episode now, guys. So what I'm going to do is I will make my way over to Aspity. That's infected, but this area shouldn't be. So yeah, okay. We're going to make our way to Aspity's, and I will resume this episode as we begin our discussion with Aspity as to the Olgimskys and what they're up to, etc., etc., etc. And I'm pretty excited. I'm really having... Today is going great. This whole game that we've been playing, I always feel like I'm having a rough time getting anywhere. It's a pretty classic one step forward, two steps back scenario, where every single time I try to talk to anybody in a position of power, I get a bunch of double talk and excuses about traditions being in the way and their own beliefs as to who's guilty and who's innocent, and you know, just it's one thing after another explaining why I can, why I can't do whatever to help the people of the village. So here we are on day 8, and I've had a fairly upfront letter which led me to speak with... Oh, hold up. No, that's the letter one, isn't it? A fairly upfront letter from the Inquisitor and from the younger Olgimsky. And I mean, we've just been from point A to point B to point C all the way through and getting stuff done, and I love it. So we'll read this, and then I'll end the episode. I've kind of been rambling a little bit here. Okay, Haruspex' choice. The truth reveals itself to me, Onyon. I have claimed my father's grievous inheritance. I have made my choice. I believe that this settlement can be saved. It is alive. The kin still lives, even though my father, who is destined to lead it, has died. The kin is nourished and sustained by the earth. The kin that knows how to breathe. The new harvest may be nurtured here. I devote my life to the service of the kin, just as the lines of my family enjoin me to. I will change this town. It will be reborn to live anew. Victoria Olgimskaya, the White Mistress, will breathe life into it. The fallen families will be replaced by those marked by the sign of the spirits. Children they are. Taya Taichik, Chieftain Notkin, Blessed Grace, Urchins Murky and Sticky, and possibly one more whom I did not yet get to meet. He goes by the name of Khan. If they survive, so will the town. If you want the town to live just like I do, then help me, or at least don't interfere with my actions. Woe is you if any one of the children dies, for they are meant to inherit the earth. Artemi Barak, the Haruspex. Well, I hope that I don't have to interfere with you, but likewise, if you interfere with me, we're going to run into a problem. And I'm beginning to already see the way that the board game mechanics work in parallel to how the game plays out. Well, all three of the characters definitely have the town's best interests at heart, and they all want to help the town survive. All three of them have very different beliefs of exactly how that's supposed to happen, and they probably directly interfere with one another. But that'll have to wait for a future episode. We're already in the second half of day 8, so probably in the next 2 episodes or so, we'll wrap up day 8 and start working on day 9. We're kind of racing towards the end of this game now. It's pretty exciting. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series as much as I am. If you've enjoyed it, please let me know by hitting the like button and leaving a comment in the section below. And as always, I will see everyone in the next video. Catch you guys later.